What is the Vatican hiding? Chronovisor, the Vatican's secret machine that reveals the past. Is there a secret hidden in the Vatican catacombs? A device capable of revealing our past as no one has ever seen it before? Could it be that a mind-blowing invention called the Stopwatch was created 58 years ago by an Italian monk and a team of world-renowned scientists? This fascinating story makes us wonder, what other secrets are hidden from the eyes of the world? The Chronovisor, a controversial device, is said to be able to photograph events from the past, revealing historical moments that no one has ever seen. But what is this device really? Is it just a myth or a real invention that was hidden by the Vatican to protect inconvenient truths? Why would the Catholic Church want to keep such a discovery hidden? The possibility of time travel has captivated the imagination of mankind for centuries. But what if we didn't need to travel through time to see the past? What if we could look back with just the push of a button? More importantly, if this device really exists, what impact could it have on our history? Could it change the way we look at historical events forever? In the 1950s, in a modest laboratory in Milan, a monk named Padre Ernetti began working on a project that would defy the laws of time. In collaboration with some of the greatest scientists of the time, including Nobel laureates and pioneers of the atomic program, Ernetti developed the Chronovisor. But why would such a project have attracted the attention of some of the century's brightest minds? What did these people see in Chronovisor that led them to devote years of work to this device? And why is this device, if it was really created, not known to the general public? Could it be that the Vatican decided that the risks of using such a device were too great? What if any person had access to the past, able to reveal well-hidden secrets, rewrite history, or even manipulate facts to achieve their own ends? Many skeptics refuse to believe in the existence of the Chronovisor, claiming that no one has ever seen it, and the testimonies of those involved are vague and lacking in concrete evidence. However, the priest Francois Brune, in his book The Dead Speak to Us, describes in detail how Ernetti would have managed to capture the sound and image of an ancient tragedy played in Rome in 169 BC. But if this story is true, why would the Vatican remain silent? What other astonishing discoveries could be hidden in the Vatican archives? If the Chronovisor really exists, what other secret inventions might be kept in the shadows, protected from the prying eyes of the world? More importantly, how might these discoveries change the way we view the past, present, and future? These questions remain unanswered, but they continue to fascinate and intrigue. As you explore this story, I invite you to stay with us, discover other hidden mysteries of our world, and ask yourself, what other secrets are still unknown, hidden in the dark corners of history? Join us on this fascinating journey and discover the hidden truths of time. 58 years ago, on September 15th, Padre Ernetti invented a device that photographed the past of humanity. It was called a Chronovisor, an extremely interesting device that sees and even takes pictures of past events. The possibility of time travel has fascinated people since ancient times. What would it be like to be able to go back in time and undo unwanted events? How about taking a look into the future? Scientists prove that the time jump is not possible. Others tried to find the working principle of a vehicle that would move along the axis of time. As in the case of other scientific secrets, it seems that the plans of a device that looks into the past are in the possession of the Vatican. It is the chronometer invented by the monk Ernetti. Historically, science fiction writers such as H.G. Wells were attracted to the possibilities of a time machine. One of the most accurate and scientifically coherent descriptions of such a mechanism was provided in 1980 by the astrophysicist Gregory Benford in his novel Timescape, in which he described a system for sending messages into the past using tachyons, particles having the speed hypothetically greater than that of light. It is interesting that during the 1950s, the period in which, apparently, Ernetti began his experiments, several works were published on the subject of photographing past events. Terms such as chronoscope or chronotunnel appear, a statue for Father Isaac Asimov. Another example can be found in Other Days, Other Eyes, Bob Shaw, who describes a chronometer that used special crystals able to slow down the speed of light in order to observe the past. The Chronovisor captures images from the near or distant past in the form of holograms projected in a cylindrical space. This is how the invention of the Benedictine monk Pellegrino Ernetti can be briefly described. He died in 1994, taking with him the secret of what he saw with the help of the Chronovisor, the device he built and with which he looked into the past of mankind. Padre Ernetti was known in the clerical world as an exorcist and professor of pre-polyphonic music at the University of Venice. But he had also graduated from the Faculty of Physics, being passionate about scientific experiments. It all began on September 15, 1952, in the electroacoustic laboratory of Father Agostino Gemelli at the Catholic University of Milan. Playing a recording of Gregorian music, Ernetti and Father Gemelli, medallion photo, discovered with amazement a foreign voice. Gemelli was convinced it was his father's voice, which shocked the two. Over time, 12 scientists joined Ernetti's research. Their names remained unknown, but the monk nevertheless testified that among those with whom he worked on the chronometer were Nobel Prize laureate Enrico Fermi and rocket specialist Wernher von Braun, two of the world's greatest physicists and the fathers of the American atomic program. What these scientists achieved would inflame the Catholic Church and attract the interest of NASA experts. A machine that sees the past. It is not known exactly how the first successful experience was reached. It happened accidentally. The basic idea is very simple. It was just a problem of overcoming the obstacles until then, said the monk evasively. Asked who invented the stopwatch, he replied, no one. It was a collective creation. Not much is known about the construction of the chronovisor either, only that it was composed of 3 parts. First, a lot of antennas capable of capturing light and sound. The antennae were constructed from an alloy of 3 mysterious metals. The second component was a type of pickup activated and directed by light and sound waves. The receiver could be set to a specific location, a specific date, and even a specific person. The third component was a complicated system of sound and image recording mechanisms. The principle behind this machine is very simple and someone could reproduce it with bad intentions. But I tell you, I have demonstrated that the visible and audible wavelengths of the past are not destroyed, they do not disappear. The greatness of this invention was that we were able to recover that lost energy that recomposed scenes that happened several centuries ago, said Padre Ernetti. On April 8, 1994, Padre Ernetti died in Venice, not before receiving a final visit from the Vatican on his deathbed. The timer had already been destroyed. The device can go into anyone's past. With it, any secret is shattered, state, industrial, private secrets. The door could also be opened to a dictator. We ended up agreeing that we have to dismantle this car, Ernetti would have said in 1993. Other researchers are skeptical about the existence of this device. No one saw him, not even his friends, Brun and Senkowski. He never made public the names of the collaborators. Except for Wernher von Braun and Enrico Fermi, who are now dead, complained Peter Krasa. In Le Nouveau Mystère du Vatican, Father François Brun says that, in 1955, the monk also worked with one of Fermi's disciples, with another Nobel laureate from Japan and with a Portuguese scientist, proof that these great personalities of science worked with Ernetti attracted by the unprecedented research. The monk did invent something, but the Catholic Church does not tell us what. If the timer ever existed, only the Vatican knows. Most doubt that a church figure, with remarkable intellectual concerns and unquestionable morality, could have played a farce of such proportions. At this moment, the timer is in the Vatican, being one of the best kept secrets. This new discovery is also presented by François Brun, who is the author of the book The New Mystery of the Vatican. Another book that deals with the same subject is The Creation and Disappearance of the World's First Time Machine by Peter Krasa. If this device really exists, then its principles could have many uses. With the help of this device, even history will be rewritten. Events that will have been presented subjectively will be able to be analyzed with the help of the timer. Until it is made available to scientists to be researched, the device that sees the past sits in the locked cellars of the Vatican, being an extremely well-guarded secret. Books that talk about the existence of Chronovisor. The priest and theologian François Brun, in his book, The Dead Speak to Us, writes that Benedict Pellegrino Ernetti, professor of pre-polyphonic music at the University of Venice, together with a team of 12 specialists, created a device he called a chronovisor. With his help, he managed to capture in the 70s of the 20th century the sound and image of an ancient tragedy played in Rome in 169 BC. The tragedy is teased by Quintus Ennius, today forgotten. With this device, the plans of a future holdup could also be received, thus being able to prevent the police and make the operation fail. It is not excluded, in this idea, that in the future we will be able to record any events that happened, unfolded in a real way. In this sense, a true history of mankind could be created, the perpetrators of crimes could be found out more easily, but at the same time, the course of everyone's intimate life could also be found out, which I think they would not want. No one then life on Earth would radically change its coordinates. Because of this, even if such a device can become a reality, it will certainly not be widely used. The Chronovisor, the beginning of a global conspiracy or just an urban legend? In a world where technology and mystery intertwine in a complex dance, the story of the chronograph remains one of the most intriguing enigmas of the 20th century. Indeed, the idea that a device could capture images and sounds from the past seems to defy all known laws of physics. But what if this technology were real? Could the Vatican hold the key to humanity's greatest secrets? Just imagine what this could mean, a device that not only allows us to see the past, but that can reveal lost moments in human history. Could we witness the birth of Jesus, stand in the middle of history's great battles, or discover the truth behind controversial events? If we had access to such a device, what impact would it have on the modern world? Time travel or reality manipulation? In recent years, the chronometer conspiracy theory has gained more and more ground. People from all over the world have begun to wonder if the Vatican is hiding something much bigger than we might suspect. If this device exists, what other technologies are being hidden from us? And why would the Vatican want to keep such a secret? As more and more questions come to light, the story of the chronometer continues to fascinate. Skeptics claim that all these stories are nothing more than the imagination of a group of people who wanted to create a modern myth. But is this true? Or is the Vatican really protecting a technology that could change everything we know about history and time? Impact on religion and science. If the timer were real, this would call into question many aspects of religion and science. How could religion adapt to the idea that the past could be seen and the mysteries of the past could be revealed? At the same time, what would this mean for science? Should we rewrite physics textbooks and rethink relativity? On the other hand, if the Vatican is keeping this secret, its motives could be noble. Perhaps the fear of manipulation or abuse is what led the Vatican to keep the chronometer hidden. After all, such power in the wrong hands could lead to disastrous consequences. But this only adds to the mystery and curiosity surrounding the chronograph. A world changed forever? If the timer was ever revealed to the public, our world would be changed forever. People could witness events they've only read about in books and discover the truth behind controversial moments in history. But this power also comes with immense risks. Could such a device destroy the notion of privacy? How could it be used to manipulate or control the masses? Whether the chronometer is real or just an urban legend, one thing is certain: its story continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. And while the Vatican remains silent, the mystery of the timer deepens.